All right, if you're gonna create, you can't overthink it, right? You gotta just do. You gotta just go out and you gotta start. You gotta find a starting point, whether it's like here in the middle of a field by yourself, whether it be in your house, in your car, like I usually film. You gotta just get started, man. It's windy today, bro. You just gotta just get started. And sometimes, like, there's been some times where I'll be overthinking it. You can't overthink this, man. It's just something that you just gotta just say, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna turn on the camera. I'm just gonna just stand right here. Everybody's gonna see me in this open space and be like, yo, what is this kid doing? But at the end of the day, if you're, like, you see right now, I have all these cars walking, you hear me talking about cars walking by. I got all these people walking by, I got cars driving by, I got all this stuff happening. For like 1 second, people are gonna be like, what's going on over there, right? And then in the moments after that, they're gonna completely forget about me. And I'm telling y'all can't overthink this. Y'all gotta just turn around and do it. Don't be afraid of the what ifs. I'm gonna tell y'all, the only way you're gonna get better is with practice. Damn, this wind is killing me, hold up. The only way you're gonna get better is with practice. You gotta practice, you gotta do it over and over and over and over. You gotta put yourself in an uncomfortable situation to get some results you have never gotten before. You gotta just put yourself out there. Don't overthink it, right? And let's say, for instance, you don't have that, like, that direction. You don't have that, you don't have that mindset of how to speak in front of a camera, or you have an idea, but you don't know how to kind of implement it or package it. There's a way to kind of package things so that way it's delivered to your audience in a way where it's like, they're like, all right, interesting take. And they'll be able to digest it in a way where it's like, all right, you know what? I see where he or she is coming from. I see what they mean. And then sometimes, if you don't have any ideas, you got to use YouTube. And that brings me to my next point. Sometimes you got to steal. Hold on, let me get there. Before y'all click off. Sometimes you got to steal. Sometimes you got to take somebody's idea or creative direction and use that as like a chat GPT, if you will, or use that as like a blueprint. Because, there's a million ways to describe the wheel, right? We don't have to reinvent the wheel. But at the same time, if you let's say you have an interest in talking about the Osmo Pocket 3. I'll use that as an example. There are dozens and dozens of videos about the Osmo Pocket 3. I talked about why this is my favorite camera. And, I did a video on it. I'll link it in the description. But there are tons of videos about this camera. The Osmo Pocket 3 has one set of settings. It's this, it's that. There's tons of ways to package it and direct it and deliver it to your audience in a different way. It doesn't have to be the same, but you can take all those videos and use that as a blueprint to build your own video. That's just one example on how you can create content and create your own voice, right? Package your own like presence to your audience, right? Now, don't copy. We don't want to plagiarize, right? We don't want to do that, but we want to put it in our own voice. We don't want to come on a video sound like somebody else. We don't want to recite word for word what somebody else said in the video, because that's just not right. But I'm saying use that as an example on how you want to talk. Yo, this wind is killing me, Smalls. You want to use that you want to use that like blueprint on how you're going to package that video to your audience in your own voice, in your own direction. You know what I'm saying? Like it's simple. And that kind of brings me to the next point. We want to focus on talking, right? For a long time, I didn't have like, I can't believe it's only been, I would say in June, when I created this channel and actually started going serious, I couldn't even look at the camera without feeling uncomfortable. Even me talking about it now, it makes me laugh, because at one point I couldn't do this. This was not something I could do. Be out in the open field, holding a camera, talking to y'all, people watching me from a distance. I couldn't do that. But you gotta focus on talking. You gotta focus on being this person that's like, okay, I'm gonna stand here in a space and just talk about whatever it is I'm talking about. Or sometimes it's okay, listen, I'm not gonna go into a department store and walk around with a camera Well, at least not yet. I probably will do that in another video. See, I've already found another video idea. I'm gonna just turn on the camera and walk and do some shopping and see how that goes. But seriously, you got to focus on talking. Focus on talking to the camera, because that is the overall aspect of the video. You're the focal point. They want to see you on the camera. They want to see you talking. I know it's hard. There's going to be some days where you can be like, oh, I want to make this video, but I'm going to just stay home. I'm not going to do that. Listen, there's going to be some times where you're going to not want to do it, but those are the times that you just force yourself to do it. Like, there's tons of things. Like, sometimes I don't want to go to the gym. Sometimes I don't want to work out. I want to do that. But once you say you're not going to do it and you do it anyway, when you finish, don't you feel like so accomplished? After you make that video, don't you feel mad accomplished? I honestly feel great that I've been consistent, and I'm going to keep being consistent. Take some days off, man. Take some breaks. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do this 7 days a week, you know, but if you're going to tell your people you're going to be there, make sure you be there. Don't tell them some lies, you know? Don't tell them you're going January, I'm gonna start over, and I'm gonna be more consistent on the channel when you don't show up, because they're gonna be like, man, why you keep playing with us, man? But let's move on to the next topic, man. You got to, this is one of my favorites. You have to let your personality shine through. You got to talk, you got to be yourself. Everybody has heard somebody go on YouTube and say, what's going on, guys? Don't do that. I'm serious. Don't do that. But at the same time, you want to be that, you want to be yourself. Because what's going to happen? You know, you're going to make that video, you're going to be somebody else, and all your friends and family, whoever, let's say they see the video one day, they're going to be like, man, why you lie to them people? Seriously, be yourself. Be yourself. Be who you are. They want to see the genuine self that you are. And what ends up happening when you try to be somebody else, you're going to get that imposter syndrome, and then it's going to be tough, because if you keep going, you got to make another video that way, you got to make another video that way, you got to keep making videos that way, and it's just not going to work. You know, just be yourself. It's easier, it's natural, and then when you talk to the camera, going back to my previous point, it is a lot easier to convey your thoughts and not be somebody else, right? You know, use your personality. You have a unique personality. Use it to your advantage, and use those things that you're excited about, like those topics. Combine that personality along with those topics you want to talk about, because it's easy. And once you start practicing those things, it just becomes, you get better at it. You get way better at it. It becomes easy. You just could turn on the camera and boom, you're ready to go. Use those to your advantage. There's probably some things that you have done that you're better at anybody else out there, right? Use that as a topic for your video. Because if you do that, you're already good at this. 2, it just becomes super easy, and you're an expert. So when you're an expert at something, you be like, you know what? I know this. This is me. I got this. This is going to be my content because I'm good at it, and I've done it for years. All right, let's move on to the next topic. I appreciate y'all rolling with me. Do me a favor. We are almost to the end of the video, but since you're here, drop a like on the video. It really helps out the channel. Comments down below. What are some things that you are working as a content creator, and you know that you want to get better at? And if you don't, just comment your favorite emoji. It helps with engagement. I really appreciate it. All right, let's move on to the next one. I hope you guys are having a great start to your week. We are midway through. Hold on. All right, this is the last one. This one is super easy. This is super easy. I'm gonna tell y'all, it takes 1 minute for someone to turn around and stop you from doing this, but it's overall consistency. You gotta be consistent. You gotta show up. Even when someone tells you, oh, it's hard. Even if someone tells you it's gonna be difficult. Even if someone tells you, or anyone, somebody, this is what happens when you're filming videos, people walk by, and that's all right. They're probably, that goes back to my previous point. Sometimes people are going to be in the background, and sometimes you just got to continue going and filming your content. But nonetheless, you got to be consistent. There's gonna be some moments where you're not gonna wanna film. There's gonna be some moments that there may be some distractions in your background. There may be noise. I got this construction back here. There's gonna be some moments where you're gonna be like, all right, I don't wanna do this. You gotta be consistent. You gotta show up. Even if the weather's bad, there's noise, there's all of these things that are in your way. You gotta be consistent. You gotta show up. If you really want this, before you go out, let me tell you something. Before you go out and buy that expensive camera, before you go out and buy that dope microphone, before you go out and do all of these things, you gotta be consistent. Because what's gonna end up happening, you know that camera, that microphone, that's gonna sit there. And what are you gonna do with it? It's gonna end up, you have to sell it, you're gonna take a loss for it. No, be consistent in your content. Do this for a while with your phone. See if you really want to. Show up every single day. Every single day, meaning don't film a video every single day, but take like 5-10 minutes, script out an idea. Talk to your audience, maybe in the comments and stuff like that. Videos that you posted before, reply to those. You should reply. Anybody who takes the time out in your video and has commented, you need to reply ASAP. That's your audience. That's your tribe. You need to be there for them. I know life gets in the way, and I'm not saying, be consistent to the point where it's a burden on your day-to-day, your work and stuff like that. But at the same time, be consistent. You said you wanted this. You asked for it, right? You went out and bought the camera. You went out and said, and what you shouldn't have, but you telling everybody, I'm gonna start YouTube. If you don't really know if you want to do this, don't tell anybody. You need to tell yourself and actually do it enough to see if you actually want to do this long term. I did that for some time. I said, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. This year I decided I'm not gonna tell myself any more excuses. If I'm gonna tell myself something, I'm gonna do it because I say I wanna do it. And I empower y'all. I'm telling y'all, I empower y'all to do the same. If you're gonna do it, lock in and do it. Do it because you wanna do it. You know what I'm saying? Be consistent. Everyone on YouTube has said this before, or anybody who has told you, like, let's say you've been coached. I've been coached in my younger years, so I always relate that to coach. Coach is telling me, if you want to get better, you got to be consistent. You got to get in the gym. You got to practice. And even if you don't post these videos, I empower you to post them. But let's say you have a video, unlist it, send it to somebody, tell them to give you your honest feedback, and then make the changes. Or record yourself, review it on your phone, whatever you got, and then when you're ready, upload it. Those are the things, these little things has helped me. All of these things I mentioned in this video have helped me get better at, trying to get better. You know what I'm saying? We got ways to go, baby, but I'm in for the ride. These things have helped me get better at creating content, and it's gonna continue to get me better at creating content. This is the framework. It is very simple. As you noticed, the channel has changed. There's not that many edits. It's just a simple vlogging, talking kind of style video, and I'm super comfortable with that. And I empower you to find something that you're super comfortable with, because what happens when you're comfortable, it's easier, and you do it. Create a system. Try these things. Listen, I appreciate you watching all the way to the end of the video. It means the world to me. I appreciate you. Do me a favor, comment consistency if you made it all the way to the end. I appreciate y'all. Do me a favor, take care of yourself. Take care of your friends, your family, your loved ones. I'll see you in the next one. Y'all take care of yourselves. Peace. I'll see y'all later.